All right, Earth2.io. If you're watching this video, you're probably familiar with it. There's a lot of buzz going on regarding Earth2.io, and I think it's only going to get bigger. It's only a few months old, and the investments that have been made in it are growing astronomically. As you can see on the ticker that we've got up here, it's the US is at $6.09. When I was looking at this, when I first got into it 2 days ago, it was at $3.78. So that's gone up a crazy amount. As you can see, they have it growing at almost 6,000%. That's insane. So this is a combination of VR, augmented reality, cryptocurrency, all sorts of craziness. If you're not familiar with it, I'm not going to go into too much as to what Earth 2 is, but this is specifically talking about some investment advice that I am implementing and I think you might want to learn from. At least something you want to think about. You might think my ideas are stupid, dismiss them, no problem, but at least something else, another perspective to put in your brain and think before you invest. Now, speaking of thinking before you invest, only invest what you can lose. The developers might be on a Learjet, crash, and hopefully that's not the case, but then the project's gone, your money's gone. You never want to invest anything in stocks or cryptocurrency or projects like this that have such a high risk that if you were to lose it, you'd be hurting. So only invest what you can afford to lose. Only invest what you can afford to lose. And don't take this as investment advice. Take this as anecdotal. This is what I am investing in. This is why I am investing in this stuff. And just some ideas for you to have before you invest. Now, if you find this stuff interesting, and if you find this useful, and if you do decide to invest in Earth 2, or if you're already investing and you make some more purchases based on what I say, please use my referral code. It costs you nothing. You actually get 5% back, and I get 5% back. So use my referral code. You'll save money. I'll get a little bit. It'll be worthwhile for me to make this video to help you guys. And yes, please. It'll be probably on the screen, or it'll be in the show notes below. Please use my referral code. So enough begging, let's get into it. Now, the first thing that you might want to purchase is some sentimental stuff. That's what I started purchasing. Sentimental stuff being, where I proposed to my fiance, childhood homes, some other places that mean a lot to me that were in, amazing vacations in the Philippines, places in Peru that when I visited there's a lot of, connection with, and I really enjoyed the places. They were still available, so I jumped on them. There were some places that I wanted to purchase. They were already taken up. Oh, well. One of the next bits of advice is if there's something that's already been taken up or something gets too expensive, think outside the box. Go to other countries where stuff is still expensive. As you can see, the US right now is $6.09 for a square. You can go to Peru, and I think Peru is still at like 12 cents a square. So your dollar goes a lot further. And don't be discouraged if you're getting into this after other people. There's still going to be people who are getting into it after you. There's still a lot of good investments to be made speculatively. But obviously your dollar is going to go further in the other countries. Now, eventually the US is going to get too expensive. It's not going to have that same growth rate. All the new money coming in is going to be looking to get a little bit more bang for their buck, and they're going to be spending it in those other countries that are right now a lot cheaper. And if you were to get in at like 12 cents and it goes to $1 and you're almost 10xing your money without it even being anywhere near as expensive as the US, pretty nice investment, right? So those are the first two bits of advice is really, I guess, the thinking outside the box kind of goes along with all of this. So go to different countries, get more for your dollar. Another way to get more for your dollar is to go to the marketplace. Now, in the marketplace, this is land that's already purchased by people, and they're putting it up for sale. Now, as you can see, some of it is at a discount. So this is 20% below the market price. How is that possible? Well, if I bought these squares when they were at 10 cents, and right now they're at $2, I can sell it for $1. I've 10x'd my money, and you get it for 50% off. This one right here, this is in Western Leaky Beach in Western Australia, 20% off. And I've only seen the property values go up. I don't know when it's going to level off, but the growth rate is actually accelerating because more and more people are learning about it. When I was originally looking at it, it was like 3,000% growth. Now it's at 6,000% growth. So it's accelerating because more people are learning about it on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and all these other outlets. And as the mainstream becomes more aware of it, more money is going to flow into it. It's going to accelerate the growth. It's going to raise the price. And when you're holding land, your price goes up. The land is uniformly priced across the country. So whether you own, the middle of Nebraska or South Beach or Manhattan, it's all the same price in that country. The other countries will be cheaper. For now, everything's cheaper than the US. But what's good is as the US gets bought up, being the most popular place for people to be investing their money, everyone's land value goes up. Now, I put in $200 even. Right now, my land value that I own is worth $299.71 after 2 days. So that's a 50% growth in 2 days. That's pretty awesome. Now, on top of that, as a lot of you guys know, you also make passive income, a few cents a day from holding the land, which is great. It's more than you're probably going to get leaving that money in your checking account, obviously, or maybe even in a CD. I don't know. But what's cool is as more money flows in, your value goes up and you continue making the residuals on it. So you make money in two ways as far as I understand it. Plus, in the future, they're also going to have resources hidden under some of these plots of land. So it'll be just like discovering oil or gold under your property. And I think it's going to be randomly distributed. So it won't necessarily be where there's been historical gold strikes and oil strikes and diamond mines and everything else like that. I think it's going to be kind of all over the place. So another bit of advice is also go for ocean or spots where no one's going after right now. Who knows? There's oil under the ocean. Why wouldn't they put resources under the ocean, right? So cheaper countries, sentimental places, places that, if you're going to hold on to it, make it sentimental. If you want to flip it, make it something that's historical, something that's meaningful to other people, something that is something that someone else is probably going to want to buy. So some examples of that would be, I own pieces of the original McDonald's. I own pieces of Busch Gardens, one of the rides in Tampa that I love very much, the SheiKra in Tampa, Busch Gardens. It's like the best roller coaster there. I own a bit of that. I also own pieces of Disney World. I bought this just to flip it, so don't judge me, but I purchased Jeffrey Epstein's house in Palm Beach. His island was completely bought up. It's very famous, so everybody went there. But I'd say the second most famous place that he has is his house in Palm Beach. So I bought that up. I think it was like 6 or 9 squares. I forget how many squares, but I bought that up. I've put that on the market. I actually already received an offer. It cost me $32.32 to buy everything. I already received an offer yesterday for $180. I decided not to take it because I want to see where this goes. But I have it listed for $500. If someone were to drop $500 and buy it for me right now, I would take it. I might go less than that. Like I said, I kind of want to see where this goes. But that's some ideas to put in your brain. Like, is there a big corporation that's eventually going to want to own all of this? Is Disney going to want to build a virtual theme park on Disney World? If so, they're going to have to buy my square in order to do it. Now, another good example is this is a lesser known place, so I was able to swoop in and get it. Most people don't know about Zimmerman Advertising or Zimmerman Marketing. It's basically a big advertising agency. They're based out of South Florida. That's why I know about them. Jordan Zimmerman's probably like a billionaire, and he's got jets, and his son's got McLaren, and they've got tons and tons of money. I don't think they'll have any problem buying this, especially since he's in marketing. He'll probably want to have his own building, which he owns in real life. He'll probably also want to own that on Earth 2.0, and I'll sell it to him for a great deal. I think I bought it for 30 something bucks all in. So I could probably sell it to him for a few hundred, make a great return on my investment. He wouldn't even think about it. I might even be able to sell it to him for a few thousand if this really takes off and we get into those additional phases, phase 2, phase 3, as they develop this project. So a lot of exciting stuff. Other stuff that you might want to think about is historical places, places that are very unique. There's not another one of them. If I were to just buy a McDonald's, no big deal. If I buy the first McDonald's, kind of a big deal. I've invested in some places in not Machu Picchu, but in Peru. Machu Picchu was actually all bought up, but there are other places in Peru that aren't as well known as Machu Picchu, but they are still historical. They were built by the Incas, so there's no more of them. Once you buy them up, there's only so many of them. And if someone else wants to own some of those historical landmarks in the future, they're going to have to come to you for them. So here's one example right here. It's an Inca mountain structure where they're all leveled, really cool stuff. Kilimanjaro. 2 reasons I bought that. Not only is Mount Kilimanjaro, it's the tallest mountain on the continent of Africa. I think it's the 2nd tallest mountain in the world. Don't quote me on that. But my fiance's father also climbed it when he was in college. So there's some sentimental value. I bought 2 tiles on there, one to keep, one to sell. You could buy sentimental stuff like, I also purchased, the first place I purchased was where I proposed to my fiance. But as far as investments, and also gifts, like let's say you want to buy your friend's house and gift it to them. Like that's a kind of cool gift. It's something unique. It's not going to break the bank, at least not right now at $6 a square. Holidays are coming up, and if their birthday's coming up or something like that, it might be a cool thing to buy. Maybe where you went to school. So historical places, places where a corporation or somebody with money, they would want to buy it from you eventually. They're not hip to this yet, but later they will be. Those are good investments. Going into other countries where stuff is cheaper and your dollar goes further. Going to very popular places that are highly saturated right now with people. We're talking Manhattan, we're talking London, I'm talking Tokyo, talking Hong Kong, places where a lot of people live. More likely that they're going to find out about Earth 2.0, more likely that they're going to have a sentimental park or their house or something. So even if you buy a random square there, there's more of a likelihood of someone wanting to, not only they have the awareness of it, but wanting to buy that from you. So I think it's a good investment. I've got some places in Manhattan. I've got some places in London, as opposed to, like I said before, buying, a desert in the middle of nowhere or a cornfield or something. Probably not going to be too many people trying to buy that from you until the entire map is purchased. So that might be a while. But if, someone's looking to get in on Manhattan, I heard that Wall Street was sold a couple of times. Some video I was watching said that someone bought Wall Street for pennies, then sold it for $65, then someone else bought it for $6,500. I haven't verified this, but that's what I heard on somebody else's YouTube video. So some crazy stuff already going on. Is it going to crash? I don't know. Is it going to continue going up? Probably. I don't know for how long. Bought some places in Paris, right next to the Louvre. The Louvre was already bought up, but I bought right across the street from the Louvre. Think about marketing, thinking about high trafficked areas. These are probably where there's going to be some value. So not only, like I said, are you going to make money passively just by holding the property, you can make money by flipping the property. You can make money by there being resources discovered under your property. There's a lot of different ways. And this is just the speculation based on phase 1. Phase 2, they're going to roll out a lot of other stuff. Like you're probably familiar, they're going to be building a 1-to-1 scale of Earth. So the possibilities and all the things that are going to evolve from this, it's really, it's going to exceed your imagination. If you were to sit and think about this, you could probably think of a lot of the opportunities. You're not going to think of all of them. So I highly suggest you look into it. If you got some money to throw around, stock market's been ripping for a while, and a lot of people have made money on that. There's only so much money to be made before it starts turning around. So if you're looking to pull out of the stock market, obviously real estate is also at a high. This might be where a lot of investment money will be flowing. If you put your dollars in before other people put their dollars in, your property, your virtual property is going to mature a lot faster. And like I said, use my referral code. Don't invest what you can't afford to lose. And good luck with trading.